Hey everyone, FinanceFeeds is here at iFX EXPO International in sunny Limassol, Cyprus. Joining me now is Iskandar Najjar, who is CEO at Equiti Group. Iskandar, thanks for joining us today.
Pleasure, great to be here.
I'm always fond of your insights, so I'm glad that we can take this time to catch up.
No, thank you for your time. Looking forward to going through the questions.
Thank you. So last month, Equiti entered Qatar via partnership with MK Enterprise. I wanted to ask you, is it true that this operation will be, let's say, exclusively B2B, offering fintech solutions, including decentralized digital asset exchanges, and also, I think, physical commodities and advanced payment solutions?
Yeah, so we're very excited about this partnership. Qatar is obviously growing at a very, very accelerated pace, especially post the World Cup. A lot of external investments coming through. But what we're more focused on building local infrastructures and supporting on that side of the business. And we're, as Equiti, let me go back and describe a little bit of Equiti's evolution over the last 5 years. Yes, we started off predominantly focused on brokerage, but we've evolved into becoming a fintech group focused on brokerage solutions, trading technologies, payment solutions, and the digital asset space. So from a brokerage solutions perspective, we are looking at a B2C landscape. It's still very young, so we are looking to potentially tie up with some banks out there from a B2B perspective, but very much a key focus is B2C. Payment solutions, as part of our acquisition last year, we're very much focused on providing a wider depth and array of solutions. We focused on building our own gateway this year, but we have a lot of a suite of products that are focused on acquirer technologies or issuer technologies that we're looking to push to market over there. And something that's very exciting to me on a personal level is the digital asset exchange. We're working quite closely with the Dubai government under the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, VARA. We're one of 50 companies to be granted an MVP to push a product through, which is basically really monitoring this ecosystem tightly to ensure that we have the right legislation, the right boundaries that doesn't hinder innovation, but also has the right controls around it for digital assets. And we're launching an SME exchange in that front, and we're also launching a gold tokenization solution for clients.
I see. Awesome. You've also actually made a big move in May when you acquired Cloud Invest. I wanted to ask what opportunities and synergies will arise from entering, digital payments and services.
Yeah. So that was. It started off predominantly being focused on operational efficiencies. So we have built an exciting product which is focused on replacing existing POS devices where all transactions can happen through your mobile for merchants. Yep. On the back of the work that we were doing with one of the acquired technology providers, we found a lot of synergies. So we said we agreed to acquire that company. Their key focus this year, so we made the acquisition at the end of 2022. Their key focus this year was building their gateway solutions for us. We've been doing very well in terms of internalizing a lot of that flow and capturing better conversion rates for payments, number one, but also the cost effectiveness of those conversion rates have been very important. Now, this Cloud Invest has been around for over 12 years, so they have a wide array of products, as I previously described, in the acquirer space as well, and in the issuer space. So we have some big banks across Africa using our technologies, and we have some large retailers across Saudi as well. We're looking to expand into those markets as well and really push those products forward.
Great. I know that you're also doing stuff in, you mentioned Dubai, there's also Abu Dhabi. So in February of this year, Equiti opened an Abu Dhabi operation licensed by SCA, I believe. You said that this will serve as a link to achieve a west-east corridor, so to say, of digital investment solutions. In what ways can Equiti's global clients benefit from this west-east corridor?
I mean, the UAE has been only growing in its importance as a bridge between the East and the West. Today, you're seeing tourists, you're seeing investors coming from Asia, coming from Africa, coming from Europe, and that's only growing in terms of size and in terms of speed of and size of their investments. They've looked at regulation first in the way how they're managing that, and their infrastructure is really second to none in today's world, today's climate. Abu Dhabi is the capital of the UAE. There's a lot of opportunities to support clients on that side. And that just expands on to our geographic expansion strategy that we've had. I mean, what we want to do is localize our product as best as we can. We have the capacity, we have the technology, we have the resource to not only scale, but look at how we can customize and localize those product offerings. So when you look at clients in Abu Dhabi have different requirements from those in Dubai, let alone region by region. So having touch points to those clients are essential. And building that confidence, building that credibility, and is part of our global mandate. And we'll look to expand in terms of geographic expansion over the next few years as well. That's not going to stop.
Great. And also, when you announced the launch of the Abu Dhabi, let's say, operation, you also said that there are some plans to expand in Asia and perhaps South America or Latin America. Can you sort of give our viewers maybe a little bit of insight into those plans going forward? Maybe, sort of locations, regulation-wise, which sort of regions, sort of countries in those regions are attractive to you. And maybe you already have some dates of launch that you're thinking about and things like that, because I know that Asia and LATAM are obviously, I think for you, perhaps maybe an untapped market at this point.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, we have business coming from those markets, but it's been very reactive in its approach. Latin America, a little bit more proactive. We have a base in Colombia, but we are looking at licenses around that region over there. We do like to have a regulation first philosophy in those markets. So we're engaging in discussions with those regulators and see what best suits and fits our product. We've been customizing our products to support Latin America for some years now.
I see.
Asia, surprisingly, we've also very reactive. Our B2B focus has been strong there since inception, since 2017. But from a B2C standpoint, it's really been very reactive in that approach. We have chosen to proceed with MAS, and so we've taken the Singapore license. We're hoping to go live with that, maybe Q1, Q2, 2024.
Okay.
And that will be the foundation, let's say the focal point of how our Asian expansion initiatives will come to life. I mean, most companies or most of our peers, let's say, have been Asian focused and then diversified externally. Well, we're kind of doing the reverse. We think our product fits. There's significant demand from our clients for our product reactively. So we want to go there and localize that as best as we can.
Awesome. Well, let's not forget about Equiti Capital UK, because it plays a critical role in sort of your global trading operation, right? Equiti Capital UK recently appointed, his name is Liam Conway, as the new CEO. At the time, you said that his natural leadership would be instrumental in taking advantage of the significant opportunities ahead. I want to know, what are some of these significant opportunities ahead?
I mean, Liam Conway was our deputy CFO prior to that, so we've been working very closely with him, and he's a perfect fit for Equiti Capital. London is a global hub, a global liquidity hub. We're investing significantly in terms of our solutions, in terms of our bandwidth to be able to support more of our client base out of London, particularly. And Liam's depth of understanding of that space is a perfect fit for the future vision of what we're looking to support from London as a liquidity hub for the wider group and for some of our B2B client base as well.
I see. I guess as a final remark, I wanted to maybe touch base in regards to your proactive sort of digital asset regulatory efforts. Me living in the States and us covering, FinanceFeeds covering many different regions and how it relates to digital asset regulations and laws, I'm sure you understand.
Of course.
There's some frustrations coming from people like me in the United States. I guess, how do you find it? How do you find it working with the regulators in the UAE to develop, like you said, this common framework that works for all and kind of everybody's on the same page?
Yeah. I think the opportunity with the UAE is it's very young in its approach and very much have a depth of knowledge on the digital asset sector. So they have the right people sitting in the right seats who have a technological understanding of the solutions around that. the minister, they one of the first to have a Ministry of AI, and the Minister of AI is he's young, he's talented, he's very smart, and very proactive in really building the digital economy mandate of the UAE as a whole. So they are. They have a depth of understanding of legislation. They are not risk on, but they are moving forward. So they're constantly listening to what other regulators are doing. They constantly have an ear to ground in terms of what the market needs. We set up the Dubai Digital Assets Association. So I'm on the board of the association, and our MD of strategy is the chairman of that association. And what that is a public-private association focused on opening that dialogue, constant communication between the government and the private sector in terms of what the client demands are, what the market demands are, and how to protect investors, how to protect the government, and how to protect all stakeholders within that framework. And as long as that discussion's open, as long as there's an open-mindedness towards finding the right legislation. It might not be the first draft, it might not be the second draft, but at least there's an appetite and there's a true understanding of the opportunity that could arise from that. So, and like you said earlier, it's the bridge between the East and the West. So there's huge demand coming from Asia towards the digital assets space in a regulated manner, and I think that's what's needed. I've described that previously in last year's interviews as well. Digital asset has shown the opportunity, but it lacked regulation, and you need both. FTX was a huge learning curve for everyone to understand that without proper governance, there's significant pitfalls, and we need to learn how to avoid that, but at the same time, ensure that we don't kill innovation through over-regulation.
Well, I think it's amazing that this work that you're doing. Again, I'm coming from a position of frustration. It's great when there is a region or a country that kind of doesn't have there's no prerequisites, there's no preconditions, and they're starting from scratch. And when you start from scratch, that's when you could really build the true model or an equilibrium, so to say, that kind of works for everyone.
I fully agree. And
awesome.
The digital asset space is very different from traditional models. So you have to have legislation that's built off a blank canvas. And I think that's been very necessary, and they've been open-minded enough to take that into consideration.
Great. Well, we're going to look for further developments on that. We're going to look for further developments for LATAM and Asia as well in 2024. And hopefully maybe we'll catch up in November in London. I don't know.
Look forward to it.
But I'm very happy to see you, Iskandar, and best of luck the rest of the way at the show and later on this year.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much.
And look forward to it.
Likewise. Thank you.
Take care.